if your mind is guided such a way, like the Buddha said here, like what Buddha taught us, like that manner, away from the obsession, away from hatred, away from ignorance, with enthusiastic, joyfully, happily going away from the negative emotions, normal, smooth functioning, which will not give any opportunity for negativities or negative effects to happening with ourselves engaging. That is equanimity, what we are talking about. Pangyum is all about that. That is what I mean, balanced. Balanced. So the equally balanced, naturally functioning mind. So that is very important. And which means mind is already inside because it's not engaged in any different activities. And so what we do is try to remain mind within yourself. Whatever you are focusing, and getting mind, number one, accustomed, whatever you wanted to be focused. It can be subject, it can be object. Subject can be like a fate, or impermanent, or natural of reality, or natural of human beings, a human self-nature, or object like that of image of a Buddha, or object like that of whatever you're doing research on that. It can be material, metals, so whatever. So this is one of the way of bringing a mind to your own very much use. And that is very important to have mind managed by yourself. Many times we refer that as a meditation. I do have one little booklet, not really a booklet, it's we call it transcripts, called Gom. Gom in Tibetan means meditation. I don't want called meditation because there are too many things for meditation around. So I just put the Tibetan name in there. So those who have an idea, those who are interested, they may be able to read it and they may be able to understand. But, if you put a meditation, maybe some people may read it, but it may become more interruption than help. That's why I call that Gom. On the basis of these Gom transcripts, various part of Jewel Heart also does a workshop. Workshop are like a weekend or week-long workshops. So these are totally learning how to meditate. To be able to bring to this great equality, particularly the last Sunday's subject, the Xinjiang, I told you, there is some kind of tremendous joy, happiness, and a relaxation on the meditation. And it is a pleasure. Honestly, it becomes a pleasure, mental pleasure, physical pleasure. And that is only possible if you go through with those meditative state of Gom, meditative state. And there are like 9 different stages which Buddha taught, and some early Indian Pandit, Mahapandit, has described it. And there's another 8 step by Buddha taught by different early Indian teachers, great Mahasiddhas have described. And also there are like 6 powers, and 4 way of remembering, thinking, all taught by Buddha and practically transcribed and taught by the early Indian masters. And all of them combined together, and it's been combined by the great Tibetan teachers for 500, 600, 700 years. And particularly Jangwa Lama Tsongkhapa has this shamatha meditation. On that basis, and I did teaching workshop type for about a year in New York City, and that teachings are become transcripts, and now you have that valuable. So they're very good and very helpful, because that will be able to bring your power of concentration. Even you are not interested reducing negativities, even you wanted to make money, you wanted to have a business success in that. So these are these things will help you to achieve whatever the goal is. Though it is the part of those 10 virtues, 11 virtues, we are talking about it, but still, this is applicable in both ways. This is applicable to our mundane activities. This is applicable to our spiritual activities. This is applicable to our business activities, particularly if you are in legal profession. This is very much applicable, because how your mind will work will be way different. And then that, so this is not just one of the virtues, but it is great. So what happens is, briefly speaking, when we talk about the 9 stages, there's 9 different levels. Certain levels, 1, 2, 3 maybe, there are a lot of interruptions. You can't focus, you are interrupted by a wandering mind or sinking mind. Happens to us, happens to me all the time. The moment you sit down and are thinking of doing your commitment or practice or something, very soon you realize either you are not focusing, or you're focused and you're falling asleep. There's a little heaviness on your heart, or the physically even falling, shaking and jerking. All of those we see. This is whatever shaking, jerking, falling asleep is referred as sinking. and you have no idea what you are thinking, and your words are going like a parrot talking, blah 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 blah. But so your mind is totally somewhere else, and these are what we call it, wandering mind. So these are the two interruptions, wandering as well as a sinking. So both of them are your challenge. If you wanted to stabilize your focusing power, you have to challenge these two. These two. At the beginning, we have no way of challenging. Always there is watching. Watch your mind. Some people even put alarm clock every 2 minutes. So every 5 minutes, every 3 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. So that's an improvement. That's not easy, but it's an improvement. So when you're watching and you realize you are remaining on thing, on focusing, and that is how long you can focusing without interruption is the stage, what I call 9th stage. These stages are labeled by a lesser interruption and how many continuation that you can do. With that, they have given that. By the time when you reach about the 9th level, and then effortlessly your mind will begin to function, which I said earlier, natural follow. This is more than natural follow. You don't have to have any effort. It sort of automatically goes on that. Your focus was automatically, whatever you are focusing. If you are focusing on word, like those of us who say prayer by word, so our focus, mental focus goes on the word, what you say. A lot of Tibetan Buddhist practice is really made easy for us in the form of word. So you keep on either read the word or say the word loudly or quietly when you can hear yourself. So your focus thinking follows that. And that becomes true good practice. Until then, it was a little false and all that. That's what it is. When it becomes true good practice, then it becomes effortless. Focusing becomes effortless. Concentration becomes effortless. Analyzation also becomes effortless. When that happens, things are much easier. Then followed by, while continuing, then followed by those harmony, those joy feeling, physical joy feeling, mental joy feeling, all will follow. That's what last week, what we talked about, the Xinjiang. That joy is called Xinjiang. So that I said last week, I don't want to use word like mental equipo or all that. There are all kinds of words by different people using different level. So when I don't know exactly what it really meant, so I try to avoid to use that. Because if it helps you, great. But if it doesn't help you and it becomes disservice, then I have done more harm than help. And that's the reason why. But you know why? If I use mental equipo, so some people may have definition of mental equipo different than what I thought it is. So we use the same word. Some people even say word is shamada. That is Sanskrit word. Some people may have a different definition than some other people do. However, the word shamada is very generally covered within the Asian and that of early Indian traditions. And particularly word shamatha, equal translation, great translation in Tibetan called shine. Shi is peace, ne is remaining in peace. No interruption, no disturbing, very clearly, conveniently remain. And that is shine. So which cannot be really becomes different interpretation, because its word has its own meaning and it has completely established. Everybody accept what does this word mean, how it should be. So, but when you use the English, sometimes it has that difficulty. Anyway, so actually, what are the interruptions? How we recognize those interruptions, and how we'll overcome these interruptions, and all of them are very clearly, quite detailed. Not very detailed, but quite detailed. Whatever I could really bring to those people who are listening to me. So I did over a year, maybe once or twice a month or something, mostly in New York. So that's why this Gom is very useful, and that all really clearly mentioned here. Incidentally, today I'm recording this in Ann Arbor, and so this Sunday they're also having the same Gom weekend. Some Gom projects, Gom workshop is going on here in the next door anyway. So I thought I'll share that with you. And so truly this great level of mind bringing to that joy state, calm, quiet. Anything, whatever you do, it becomes enjoyable, wonderful thing. It is within you. You can do it, you can reach it. And luckily, we are human beings, and we have this human capacity, that human capacity can do everything. And this doesn't depend on chemicals. This does not depend on a mechanical system. This does not become a material thing. It's very much done by mind. But you can do it. You are capable of doing it. You should do. So that is about this, bringing level of mind and body both in joy level. So what happens is this: when you bring to that level, and then it will never give any opportunity for negative emotions to rob your mind. Your mind can never be able to used by fear, by war, by fear, by all of those, by hatred, by obsession, and all of them, because of your that stabilizing mind. And so, which is really important and very, very helpful. And so, when you reach to that level of ninth level actually takes away the effect of the negative emotions, direct effect. And it becomes very easy for the individual to improve. And this is sort of extraordinary achievement that you can achieve, and giving no chance for this interruption of wandering mind and sinking mind, both completely becomes mind on your own control. Thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend, and have a very good new week with these good motivations. Thank you.